before I wrote this, you know, the dream reality, and I've been kind of nurturing this vision for a while, and that's a result of also doing this practice of doing a life audit. And I technically started this on the 26th of August 2025, and I've just been adding it along the way. Do you know what I mean? I don't think you have to be too hard on yourself to make sure you do it all in one. But when you feel inspired, drawn, called to do it, do it. Because that's when I feel like everything just comes out exactly the way it's meant to. And I literally had to break down of like where I'm at currently in all categories of life: health, relationships, um, career, finances, spirituality, personal growth, hobbies, joys. Be like, what is the current reality, where I'm at? And I think, again, when I was talking about going from the unconscious to conscious, what is not working for me? And to be honest, at that point, it's very negative, like, especially in terms of health. Like, I'm talking about I'm binge eating, overdosing in sugar, eating crap. When my routine's out of whack, I take it out on my eating. And that's obviously when I was, doing my job, working at my old place. You know, the reality of getting a tube, getting home over an hour makes me want to overindulge in eating chocolate. I had to literally like write it in such detail because you're just in this loop, right? Unconsciously doing these certain habits where that the best self, your best self, won't be doing this stuff, right? But until you get crystal clear, like, as a result of this happening in my life, this leads me to acting out and doing these certain behaviors, and see where this cycle is taking place. And so I had to like zoom out and put it onto paper or on the computer or whatever. I had already, like, in a way, like, I kind of had done the work a couple of weeks ago, but today was kind of just, it was just kind of like the overview of like getting really crystal clear, like locking it in. Okay. And so the way I've broken it down, let me show you actually with this example. This is my life audit. And the first one is health, physical and mental. So you can see current, and then there's my goal. Okay. And if you look at the way I've written it, I've literally just brain dumped. I've just onto the page. And I've written my goal is to be in the most ridiculous shape of my life, to be slim, slender, strong, prioritize fitness like it's a part of life. To also do something that I enjoy, so there's less resistance, eat nutritious food that give me the fuel that I need, work in alignment of nature to be my healthiest version. So this is the key point. Solutions to close the gap. This is huge. And again, look at the way I've written it. It's not like perfect English. So I said, now that I've completed my half marathon, must keep the momentum going, either partake in the next challenge, which is a marathon, or do a fitness I enjoy. I'm keen to take up roller skating for next summer. Can I train now in time for next summer? I'm writing out my thoughts, okay? Because we all know the answers. It's all within us. It's a matter of like, making clear and understanding it. What's right for me is going to be right for me, and what's right for you is going to be right for you. So I did this today. I'm really feeling drawn to taking up ballet classes for winter because I feel like it's more gentle, and it's going to be a great way to get me out of the house as well, because a lot of the workouts I do is at home, and it's a bit depressing when you're always at home. And get really disciplined in what I consume, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I go on to, really break it down in terms of like closing the gap of what I need to do. So this is, again, the template. Where you're at currently, literally, you have to be so ruthless and brutal with yourself. Like, confront the parts that you don't want to acknowledge or witness, take accountability for, and then write the goal. Like, okay, this is where I'm at, this is where I want to go. How do we close that gap? Great practice. Great freaking practice. Another thing that I've done today was literally a summary of like, to get really crystal clear in terms of plan of action, becoming Dream Woman. And I'm not going to show you all of it. One, I need to still continue working on being very specific in terms of my goal, in terms of what I need to do, but also it's quite personal. Like, you don't need to know all my stuff basically. But like, yeah, I think it's all well and good to have that format because you can do it across all categories of life. But after you know where you're at, where you were anyway, and then where you want to go, just take the key points of, especially like the point of action, the plan of action, like take those out and put it into a separate page. I think it makes it very clear, and you're like, okay, this is what I got to do. Tick, 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 tick. You know, another key thing again is just like, just for your mental clarity, is like, in terms of the categories of life that you're tackling, that we all have. So I try to do it in order of like importance. So spirituality, health, relationships, personal growth, career, business, finances, fun and joy. Like, you don't have to tackle it literally in that order. But I think sometimes when I see the importance, like, I'm like, okay, when I look to like, what do I need to do, I'm always like, okay, spirituality, am I checking in with myself? Am I building that self-trust or whatever I need to do? Health, am I working out? Because health is wealth. Like, if your health goes down, what good are you to other people? Then it's relationships for me. And it's like, I think it's good to have an order of what's important to you and work through it like that. um because in the past, fun and joy would have been number one over everything else. So now is the last one. um yeah, and who knows, that may change, that may come higher. But at the moment, I've got other things I need to, you know, I've got other things that are not necessarily way more important, because I think it's an essential part of our lives to feel fulfilled in terms of being joyful and doing all the things that we love. But I think this makes the most sense to me, basically. So yeah, this is what's worked out best for me. And actually, doing writing it out was literally just from like my intuition. So considering I had done my life audit and kind of essentially written out my goals, like, it's just locking in. It's just like clarifying, like, yeah, this is the path that I want. This is the path that's meant for me, and this is where I'm heading. Because I didn't even revisit my goals to see, like, what did I write. Da, 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 da. It's just like your inner knowing is just coming to the surface. And I think when I wrote it down today about gaining clarity of the woman I'm becoming, what do I want, my dreamed reality, that was just more of like me really tapping into the emotions of it, to feel it, to immerse in it, to bring it into the present reality, to write in the present moment. I have, this is what I'm doing, this is what I have, da da da. And I'm feeling, yeah, I'm feeling a type of way, because I can't help but keep remembering and comparing back to last time around, basically. And I, not for a minute did I think like, not for a minute did I think it would actually happen. Like, I didn't even know how I would move to Mexico. Like, I didn't know how I would be start living on my dream life. Like, I start pursuing all my dreams and goals, and start doing what I felt was my life calling and purpose. I didn't know. I didn't think I even took myself seriously. I was just kind of like, what have I got to lose? Just go for it, right? And it happened, because I just allowed myself to receive. Just allowed myself to feel, and just give that to myself, to be kinder, to be more loving. And it happened. Once you allow yourself, it happens. And this time around, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna happen. um yeah, literally, as Nero says, the only person holding you back is you. And once you accept it, it happens. And yeah, and I think he has so many great videos about how, like, once we're on this journey, the old frequencies, tries to call you back in and get you to doing your old bad habits. But I think when you have this, plan of action of what your dream woman is, how she would be living her life, where she would be spending her time, what would she be reading or consuming or doing, the more you do more of that, you leave the old version of you that doesn't serve you, that no longer serves you, that old frequency that you were at, and you can now go on to the new frequency that is more aligned for you. And on that note, that was a long one, but yeah, I feel like the last few weeks has really kind of all come together to gain true clarity of the next point of action. See you in the next one.